my god, it's smoke.
Hi guys. Welcome back to Movie Room. Today I am going to explain a film titled Survival Island. I hope you can enjoy it. Watch out. And take care. At the beginning of the story, an exhausted woman is seen to be deserted an island. Then, the story rolled back to the events that happened a few days before, where a wealthy married couple, named Jack and Jennifer, and two of their friends, went on a holiday with a yacht or cruise ship. After they got on the yacht, Jack introduced his wife and his two friends to the ship's captain. Meanwhile, Jennifer and her female friend saw a handsome guy who appeared to be one of the crew of the ship. Jennifer's friend was attracted to that man named Manuel, so did Jennifer, who secretly checked him out. Unexpectedly, Manuel also did the same thing as Jennifer. Suddenly a woman came and took out her anger on Manuel. It was Maria, Manuel's ex. She slapped Manuel and caused a scene in front of everyone. Manuel was embarrassed and slapped his ex-girlfriend's back, making the woman swear that she would destroy Manuel's life. The night came, they were having fun and had some drinks together. Manuel, who served them, made Jack feel annoyed because Manuel was acting unfriendly and even rejected his offer to drink together. After Manuel finished his job, he took a rest by reading books. Meanwhile, from a different place, Maria was doing a voodoo ritual with a voodoo doll. Apparently, it really affected Manuel. It was as if someone slapped Manuel until his nose bled. The following day, the four wealthy people were sunbathing on the yacht. They were served by Manuel. However, still holding a grudge due to what happened last night, Jack told the captain about Manuel's lousy attitude. That made the captain scold Manuel. Manuel, who has a bad temperament, couldn't accept what Jack did. His anger rose, making him furious till he unconsciously threw a napkin on top of a burning stove. Not long after, the fire got bigger until it burned all parts of the yacht. The captain tried to put out the fire by using the fire extinguisher. However, it was too late. Panic and chaos spread, they had to leave the yacht. Just as they were jumping into the ocean, the yacht blew up. Back to the When Jennifer was already deserted on a small inhabited island, Jennifer, who was sad, saw a body floating in the sea. She immediately ran to approach the body and found out that the floating body was the ship's captain. Jennifer, who didn't know that the ship's captain had already died, tried to drag him with all her might to the seashore. However, Jennifer couldn't pull him by herself until suddenly Manuel came and helped her. Turned out, Manuel was also deserted on that island. By day, Jennifer and Manuel, who were the only people living on the island, started to get close, and they helped each other survive. They looked for various ways to survive, starting from catching fish to eat and building a simple hut to live in. The next day, Manuel saw Jennifer being sad, thinking about her husband that had not been found yet and maybe he had passed away. Jennifer remembered the moment when they left the yacht with a lifeboat. Unfortunately, there was a storm attacking them that night. The storm made their lifeboat turn over and separated everyone. Manuel tried to cheer Jennifer up by inviting her to swim together on the beach. Since there were only two of them on the island, slowly, Jennifer and Manuel started to depend on each other and develop the same feelings. Days passed. Manuel, who was hunting for food by himself, found Jack by accident. Jennifer's husband was deserted on top of the coral rocks. Manuel immediately saved him and brought him to their hut. Jennifer, seeing that her husband was still alive, was delighted. But, different from Manuel, he was actually unhappy with Jack's presence. Especially since he had a feeling for Jennifer. When the sun started to set, Jack, who woke up from his sleep, saw that his wife was very close to Manuel while hunting for food. As Jennifer's husband, he felt extremely jealous. Jack, who was grateful to Manuel because he saved him, ended up suspecting Manuel that he had a hidden desire to take his wife away. After catching the animal they hunted, the three of them had there together. Jack, who was very irritated and jealous, started to quip and vilify Manuel in front of Jennifer. Finally, Manuel left without having his dinner. This thing kept going for the following days, and Manuel separated himself from them and built his own hut. Jack even told Manuel that he promised to destroy his life after they got out of the island. Jennifer felt very uncomfortable because her loyalty to Jack and her mind contradicted each other. They both needed Manuel's help to stay alive. The arrogant Jack neglected his wife's opinion. He insisted that he could provide them with the life supply they needed. But the reality just made it clear that Jack could not do so. This worsened Jennifer's and Jack's relationship. It was easier for Manuel to find food because he had a knife and goggles to dive. Different from Jennifer and Jack, who didn't have enough tools. For that reason, when Manuel was asleep, Jack took all of Manuel's equipment so that he could fish at sea. When Manuel found out about it, he was furious. He wanted to kill Jack when the man was submerging under the water to catch fish, but Jennifer tried to stop him, making them both fall down on the seashore. Manuel, who had been liking Jennifer for a long time, almost sexually harassed the woman. But what happened next showed that both of them were making out. After that, Manuel confessed his love for Jennifer since the first time they met. Jennifer felt very awful, although she also admitted that she liked Manuel. Not long after that, Jack, who was back from hunting, brought a big fish. He saw that his wife was being sad. He felt like there was something wrong. Jack guessed that something had happened between Jennifer and Manuel. Jennifer, who couldn't lie, somehow hinted to her husband what had happened, making Jack furious. He dragged his wife to Manuel's hut. Jack handed Jennifer to Manuel as if she was an item. One day, Jack, who was alone, dived into the sea and found a small broken boat at the bottom of the shallow ocean. Manuel, who saw that, tried to help him. But Jack refused because he planned to leave the island by himself using the boat he found. Jennifer and Manuel, who were scared that they would be left alone on the island, planned to steal the boat when Jack was off guard. Finally, when Jack was preparing his boat, he left it for a while to find food. Manuel, who saw that, immediately woke Jennifer up to do their plan of stealing Jack's boat and left him alone on the island. When Manuel and Jennifer were pushing the boat, Jack saw them from afar and ran to stop them from leaving with his boat. But Jennifer and Manuel sped up their steps so that they could get on the boat and sail immediately. Jennifer's and Manuel's relief only lasted for a few good seconds. They just realized that there were holes in their boat. Jack purposely made holes on the boat so that the two would sink in the middle ocean. The boat started to sink, and the water filled the boat, so Jennifer and Manuel swam back to the inhabited island. Seeing that the two swam back, Jack felt satisfied that he could play a trick on the two. He laughed at them. Out of nowhere, Jack tried to attack Manuel with the wooden spear he made. Manuel, who wasn't ready for the attack, tried to escape. But he got stabbed by the wooden spear. Jack, who was determined to kill him, chased Manuel, who was running into the woods. Jennifer tried to strangle Jack down and wanted to kill him with a knife. Meanwhile, Manuel took the heaviest rock to defeat Jack. At the same time, in a different place, Maria, Manuel's ex, was performing another voodoo ritual. He cast a curse on the voodoo doll, which represented Manuel. Maria gripped the doll and made strange gestures on it. The curse aimed at Manuel actually happened. Suddenly, he lost his balance and fell back without any apparent cause. Manuel was stabbed by one of Jack's spears and died. It happened at the same time as Maria stabbed the voodoo with a nail. Jennifer screamed, witnessing everything with her own eyes. After what happened, Jennifer felt lost and shocked due to Manuel's tragic death. She held a grudge and blamed Jack for Manuel's death. A year passed, and a yacht with a family on holiday came. The craft approached the island and anchored. They purposely got off the yacht and went down to the beach to explore the island's surroundings. The family was shocked when they found Jennifer sleeping peacefully in her hut. Jennifer, who was still shocked by Manuel's death, told her story. She said to them that she was a victim of the yacht accident who survived and got deserted on the island for months. It wasn't her intention, but she didn't mention her husband. Jack was still on the island. But she remembered that Jack forced her to live together. She then had no choice but to depend on Jack after Manuel's tragic death. Jack's rude attitude made Jennifer decide to leave him. The family who heard the story sympathized with her. They then saved her and brought her to leave with them. Moments after the yacht sailed away from the island, Jennifer, sitting in the back, saw Jack, who was hunting. Jack saw Jennifer. He waved his hands and called her, begging to be taken with her on the yacht. But Jennifer didn't care. She even took Jack's match so that he couldn't make fire anymore. Jennifer finally takes her revenge on Jack by leaving her husband alone on the inhabited island.